Yo, welcome back to Tremonti and Friends Boxing. Please like and subscribe to the channel as always, and we're going to get right into it. What we doing with Teofimo Lopez, man? Some people think Teofimo is a racist. Some people think Teofimo is a troll. What we can likely agree on, at least his perception in the public, is that he's part unpredictable, and then there's a part when he's on his A game in boxing where he's unbelievable. He's beaten the likes of Josh Taylor. He's beaten Sandor Martin, which if you know boxing, you know that's not like just like an easy win. He obviously beat Loma. Some people thought Loma won. I thought Teofimo won. I thought Loma started pretty late in the fight. No excuses whether he was injured or not. Beat Jermaine Ortiz, Richard Comey. And then, he lost to Kambosos, which shouldn't have lost that fight. I'm not saying Kambosos is a stepping stone or nothing like that, but Kambosos has lost to lesser talented fighters than Teofimo. So Teofimo should have definitely won that fight. But in those fights that he's won, Teofimo's only lost one time. In those fights that he's won, he hasn't always looked great. In fact, a lot of times he looks like he fights to his competition. And he's not consistent within the fight. One thing I see with Teofimo when he's in the ring, he doesn't really get tired. So he's always in excellent shape. He probably loads up too much on his power shots because he's an incredible athlete, man. He's a talented guy. And he has it all. I wanted to see him at 140 or the catch weight between 140 and 147 fight Ryan Garcia. Just because there are two people who their gifts are unfair in the boxing ring. But one of the opponents I'm referring to isn't disciplined, so the fight will probably never happen. But just to see pure talent match up, and I would actually favor Teofimo in that fight. Teofimo has that great equalizer. He has that hook, that uppercut in the ring, and his IQ is underrated. I think the internet stuff has gotten to him. He's become more of a caricature of yourself, and that doesn't do you any good when you're as great as a boxer puncher. He's a boxer puncher as Teofimo is. The fights that we've been hearing about him being in, he was close to fighting Jerron Boots Ennis, which Boots in the interview admitted that he was close to fighting. He was close to fighting Devin Haney. He was close to fighting a bunch of people, but it ain't happened. So I don't even know if he's going back to 140. I think he could beat everybody at 140. Gary Antoine Russell, Richard Hitchens, who's a problem. Both of them are a problem. Matias, a problem. But I think Teofimo can beat them. I'm not saying he won't lose, but I think he has the ability to beat them. If he moves to 147, I think he could beat Brian Norman Jr. I think he could beat Devin Haney. I also think he could lose all of these fights that I'm speaking about as well. He could definitely lose because he's not always focused. And sometimes the chaos and the lead up to the fight and the internet fodder, he falls into too much. And he plays, you can't play boxing, but he tries to play up the entertainment factor, which isn't necessary for somebody like him, or his dad. But what do we want to do with him? What do y'all think about Teofimo? Where are we putting him? Like, what's his next fight going to be? He's only lost one time. The way people talk about him make you think he's a bum and he hasn't really beaten anybody, but he's beaten a good batch of fighters thus far in his career. I seen it looks like he might fight Shakur towards the end of the year or maybe January. He might fight him. That's tough because Shakur is only going to 135 max. Shakur can beat anybody though, but fighting Teofimo, it's gonna be tough, man. But I want to know what y'all think though. I think Teofimo's an excellent fighter. I don't really get into like the persona side of it because I don't want to get personal and say things. But where are we doing with him? Should he move to 147 permanently? Is he at 140? Is he fighting in between? Like, that's why we talking about the unpredictability factor with him. But can't wait to see what his next fight is if it get announced. I think he fights down to his competition, but I also think he rises to the occasion when the competition is of the stature of somebody who can possibly for real beat him. And this is after the Kambosos thing. So y'all let me know. Like, subscribe to the channel. Get people to subscribe. I'm always get straight to it. And I'll get back with y'all pretty soon. Peace.